Khalid bin Waleed, a name that shook the world, known as Saifullah, means the sword of Allah. He was the commander who never lost a single battle. From the deserts of Arabia to mighty empires of Persia and Rome, every army that faced him trembled, and every battlefield that carried his footsteps became a witness to victory. His strategies were unmatched, his courage unstoppable. Even in the early days of Islam, at the Battle of Uhud, when the Muslims suffered a painful setback, Khalid, then not yet a Muslim, was the one who outmaneuvered the Muslims and turned the tide of battle. And after accepting Islam, he never allowed defeat to touch him again. Every war he commanded became a story of victory. But here lies a question that surprises many. If Khalid bin Waleed was truly the undefeated general, the sword of Allah, then why was he removed from his position as commander? Why did Umar bin Khattab, the great Caliph of Islam, strip Khalid of his command? Was it jealousy? Was it politics? Or was there a much deeper wisdom behind this decision? Few people know that Khalid was once demoted and then later completely removed from command. There is also a famous incident when Khalid gave gold to a poet and Umar sent Bilal, Hazrat Bilal, to question him in front of the people. From where did you give this wealth, O Khalid? From Baitul Mal or from your own treasury? The crowd waited for his answer, and this moment became one of the sparks that led to his removal. In this video, we will uncover the complete story: the rise of Khalid, his victories, the concern of Caliph Umar, the role of Hazrat Bilal, and finally the historic meeting in Madinah when Khalid stood before Umar and the Khalifa explained why he made this difficult decision. Khalid's rise began not on the battlefield of Islam, but on the battlefield against Islam. Born into the noble Quraysh family of Makkah, the Banu Makhzum, Khalid grew up surrounded by warriors, horsemen, and strategists. He was trained in archery, sword, and army tactics from a young age. Even before Islam, he was known as a fearless rider and a sharp military thinker. When the Battle of Uhud came, Khalid had not yet accepted Islam. As a commander of Quraysh army, he spotted the moment when the Muslim archers abandoned their post on the hill. With lightning speed, he led his horsemen around the mountain, struck the Muslim from behind, and turned the tide of battle. That day, even though he fought against Islam, the Muslims realized they were facing a military genius. Later, when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ conquered Mecca, Khalid entered Islam. The Prophet did not hold his past against him. Instead, he gave him the title Saifullah, the sword of Allah. From then on, Khalid's sword would never be raised except in the defense of Islam. His first true test came at the Battle of Mota, where outnumbered Muslims faced the mighty Byzantine army. After 3 commanders were killed by Byzantine, Khalid took command. Though his armor shattered under 9 blows, he maneuvered his troops with such a brilliance that he saved the army from total destruction. After the passing of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ during Abu Bakr's caliphate, the Arabian tribes started rebellions. False prophets and tribes refusing zakat. Khalid crushed these rebellions with unmatched speed and discipline. His campaigns against Musalma, the liar at Yamama, which I already explained in my previous videos. Go watch that. At Yamama showed his ruthless efficiency. Thousands fell, but Islam was preserved. Then came the war beyond Arabia against the Persians. His forces faced overwhelming odds. Yet Khalid's strategy, swift army movement, surprise strike, and psychological warfare broke the mighty Persian Empire. He crossed rivers, marched through desert, and struck fear into the heart of both Rome and Persia. By the time Khalifa Umar succeeded Abu Bakr, Khalid had become not just a general but a legend, and that legend itself became a concern. It was the year 636. The Muslim armies gathered for what decided the fate of Syria, perhaps the destiny of an entire region. The Khalifa in Medina sent an order that shook the Muslim army to its core. Khalid was to be removed as commander-in-chief. The decision spread through the camp like wildfire. Soldiers were stunned, some whispered in disbelief, others worried aloud. Why now? Why remove the man who had never known defeat? The answer lay in the clash of leadership vision. Hazrat Umar bin Khattab believed in a centralized government, a chain of command where every major decision came from the Khalifa himself. But Khalid, forged in the chaos of battle, believed speed and independence were the lifeblood of victory. If the army had to wait for approval from Medina, he feared the enemy would always strike first. Umar also feared something far deeper, that the Muslims had begun placing their trust in Khalid's sword more than in Allah's will. When the news of the change reached Medina, Hazrat Umar gathered the people in the Masjid al-Nabawi. His voice was firm yet measured as he addressed them. By Allah, I did not remove Khalid because of anger or betrayal, nor because I doubted his skill. I removed him because people have begun to rely on him more than Allah. Victories come from the Lord of the heavens, not from the strength of any man. I want the Ummah to know that leadership and victory are gifts from Allah alone. So Umar appointed Abu Ubaidah, a man of unmatched pity and humility, to lead. And here comes the measure of Khalid's greatness. No protest, no resentment. He bowed his head, accepted the decision, and swore loyalty to Abu Ubaidah without hesitation. Stripped of command yet unshaken in resolve, Khalid fought on with same fire, proving his sword not his pride but his faith. And despite the political decision, the bond between Umar and Khalid remained strong. There was no bitterness, no enmity. In fact, their respect for one another grew so deep that Hazrat Umar later married Khalid's sister, a gesture that showed the unity of their heart and the brotherhood that no change in rank could ever break. And even after being removed as commander-in-chief, Khalid still led the Muslim army at the Battle of Yarmouk, a battle I have already explained in full detail in my previous vlog. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to watch it, that one to experience the entire story. Muslim armies crushed Roman and Persian at the same time. The Muslim army in the west had just returned victorious. Spirits were high, and in the camp a poet stood, weaving verses that praised Khalid Bin Waleed's unmatched courage. His words soared like music, celebrating the commander who had crushed mighty empires and secured victory after victory. Khalid, generous by nature and touched by the praise, rewarded the poet with a large sum of gold. But what happened in the camp never stayed there for long, because Umar bin Khattab, the Khalifa in Medina, had built a powerful network of intelligence and spies across every province. Through this system of spies, he kept a close eye on governors, generals, and administrators. When Khalid gave gold to the poet, at that very moment, one of the spies of the state was present. As soon as Khalid gifted the gold, the report was swiftly carried back to Medina. Umar heard the news. Khalid has given gold to a poet who sang his praises. The Khalifa heart tightened. A question burned in his mind. Was this gold from Khalid's own personal wealth or from Baitul Mal, the treasury of the Muslims? For Hazrat Umar Radhiyallahu anhu, This distinction was vital because public money was a trust that had to be protected. Hazrat Umar bin Khattab chose someone whose voice still echoed with the memory of Prophet's era. Hazrat Bilal, the first Muezzin of Islam, the freed slave who once climbed the rooftop of Madinah to call Allahu Akbar, was now sent to question the greatest general of the Muslim, Hazrat Khalid bin Waleed. Hazrat Bilal entered the camp. The soldier quieted, eyes widening, as the man who had stood beside the Prophet ﷺ now faced Khalid bin Waleed. His voice was steady, yet it carried the weight of history. "Oh Khalid, tell me truly, this gold you gave to the poet, was it from your own wealth or from the Baitul Mal of the Muslims?" The camp fell into silence. Some were stunned. The sight of Bilal, once a slave, now standing firm before the commander who had shaken empires. And in that moment, the truth of Islam teaching shone clear. किसी अरबी को अजमी पर और किसी अजमी को अरबी पर कोई फोकियत हासिल नहीं सिवाय तकवा के. All eyes are turned to Khalid. Khalid replies, "By Allah, I gave it from my personal wealth, not from the treasury of the Muslims." Hazrat Bilal replied, his tone firm yet calm, turned to soldier and said, "If it is his own, then he is free to spend as he wills. But if it had been from Baitul Mal, it would never have been allowed." The tension broke, yet when the report reached Umar in Medina, the weight of the matter only grew heavier. Umar bin Khattab did not let the matter rest. From Medina, he wrote a letter directly to Abu Ubaidah, the commander under whom Khalid was serving in Syria. In the letter, Umar's words were clear and firm. He wrote, "If Khalid gave this gold from Baitul Mal, then he has been dishonest with the wealth of the Muslims. And if he gave it from his own wealth, then he has shown unnecessary spending. In either case, such conduct cannot be accepted from the commander of the Muslim army. Therefore, remove Khalid from his position immediately and instruct him to return to Medina at once." But Abu Ubaidah, known for his gentleness and humility, could not bring himself to hand over the letter to Khalid. He feared the humiliation it might cause to a man who had fought so valiantly for Islam. So instead of informing Khalid immediately, he quietly kept the letter with him, delaying the announcement. Khalid, for the time being, remained unaware of Umar's decision. When Khalid did not arrive in Medina, Hazrat Umar thought that Abu Ubaidah did not give the letter to Khalid. So Umar wrote a second letter, this time directly to Khalid bin Waleed, clearly informing him of the decision of removal. When Khalid finally received this letter, he went straight to Abu Ubaidah and asked, "Why did you not give me the first letter?" Abu Ubaidah, gentle in nature, replied, "I did not want to break your spirit while the army was still in battle. I feared it might weaken the morale of the soldiers." When Khalid finally arrived in Medina, the city was restless. People gathered in street, whispering to one another. Some said, "Umar is jealous of Khalid." Others murmured, "How can he remove the sword of Allah?" The air was thick with question, but Umar bin Khattab remained firm in his decision. On his way through street, Khalid was stopped by Umar, the Khalifa. Piercing eyes met his, and in a calm but direct tone he asked, "Khalid, from where did you give the gold to that poet?" Khalid replied with dignity, and soon after, his entire wealth was checked and judged, but nothing abnormal was found. All was in order. At last, Khalid entered the Khalifa's presence. The hall felt silent. Umar looked at him directly, his gaze heavy but resolute. "Oh Khalid, listen well. By Allah, I did not remove you out of anger, nor because I doubted your courage or your faith. You are the sword of Allah, and none can deny your service. But I feared for this Ummah. I feared that the people would rely upon you instead of Allah. I feared that poets and men would glorify you until victory would be seen as your doing, not Allah's, and I will never allow that. Khalid lowered his gaze, his voice calm, steady, and dignified. O Amirul Mu'mineen, I never fought for praise nor for gold. I fought for Allah and His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If I am appointed, I serve. If I am removed, I still serve. I am a soldier of Islam, nothing more. For a moment, Umar's stern eyes softened. He whispered with deep emotion, "O Khalid, forgive me. My decision was hard, but I fear Allah's judgment more than the judgment of people." Khalid raised his head slightly and answered with unwavering loyalty, "O Umar, you are the shepherd of this ummah. You must do what you see is right. As for me, whether I hold the banner or not, my sword will always belong to Allah." This was not a clash of egos. It was not jealousy. It was the weight of leadership and the test of loyalty. Umar bin Khattab feared that the Ummah might place their trust in a man, not in Allah. And Khalid bin Waleed, the sword of Allah, showed the world that he was never fighting for fame or for command, but only for the sake of Islam. In this moment, we see two giants of history. One, the Khalifa who carried the responsibility of the Ummah on his shoulders, unwilling to risk its future. The other, the general whose sword had shattered empires, now bowing in humility, proving that true greatness lies in obedience to Allah. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more Islamic history, and share your thoughts in the comments below.